This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Coolant renewal. Open the driver's door and pull the bonnet release lever twice. Fully raise the bonnet. As there is limited clearance beneath the vehicle, unless you have access to a special low workshop jack, use pieces of wood as ramps to increase the clearance so that a regular jack can be used. Position the workshop jack head under the rear of the subframe with a piece of wood or rubber to spread the load. Raise the vehicle until the tyres are clear of the ground. Support the vehicle with an axle stand under the sill jacking points, then remove the jack. The engine under tray is secured by various fasteners. Some of these may be torque screws, and some may have an hexagonal head. Undo the fasteners and manoeuvre the engine under tray from place. With the engine completely cold, rotate the expansion tank filler cap anti-clockwise and remove it. Undo the two retaining nuts, release the clip and remove the air intake duct. Unclip the wiring harness from the air filter cover, slacken the air outlet duct clamp, undo the retaining bolt, then pull the air cleaner assembly upwards from the mountings. Disconnect any wiring plugs as the assembly is withdrawn. Unclip the bonnet release cable from the slam panel. Undo the 3 bolts securing the upper edge of the bumper assembly and centre brace. Prise up the centre pin and lever out the plastic expansion rivet at the right-hand side of the slam panel and from the left-hand side. Undo the 5 torque screws at the right and left-hand sides, then remove the bonnet slam panel. Unclip the rubber sealing strip from the top of the radiator. Squeeze together the retaining clips, disconnect the electric cooling fan wiring plug, then release the wiring harness from the fan shroud. Unclip the coolant bypass hose from the shroud. Undo and remove the tubular bolt at the right and left-hand end of the shroud. The fan shroud is secured to the radiator by a clip each side. Prise out the clip slightly, lift the shroud and carefully manoeuvre it from place. Take care not to damage any of the radiator cooling fins. Where fitted, slacken the bleed screw at the top of the expansion tank. Place a suitable container beneath the radiator. Prise out the wire locking clip slightly, then pull the top hose from the radiator. Prise out the wire clip. Disconnect the coolant pump hose at the front of the engine and allow the coolant to drain into the container. Access is limited, so disconnecting the hose is shown here with the radiator removed. When the coolant has finished draining, check the condition of the pipe O-ring seals and renew if necessary. Press the hose connections fully onto the pipes at the coolant pump and top of the radiator. There should be an audible click when they engage. Remove the drain container from beneath the vehicle. Carefully refit the cooling fan shroud to the radiator, ensuring the lower mountings engage correctly on both sides. Refit and tighten the tubular bolts at the top of the shroud each side. Clip the top hose and bypass hose into place at the top of the shroud. Secure the wiring harness to the shroud with cable ties, then securely reconnect the fan wiring plug. Refit the rubber sealing strip to the top of the radiator. Manoeuvre the slam panel into place, then insert and tighten the retaining screws at the right and left-hand end. Insert the plastic rivets, then press down the centre pins to secure them at the right hand and left hand side. Refit and tighten the bolt, securing the centre brace to the slam panel and the bolt at each end of the bumper upper edge. Clip the bonnet release cable to the rear edge of the slam panel. Press the air cleaner housing firmly down into the rubber mountings, reconnect the air outlet duct and clip the wiring harness into place. Refit and tighten the retaining bolt, then tighten the air duct clamp. Slide the air intake duct into position, ensuring the retaining clip engages, then tighten the nuts. Turn on the ignition without starting the engine and set the heater control to maximum temperature with the fan speed set to low. This opens the heating valves. Mini recommends that the cooling system is refilled using vacuum filling equipment. However, if vacuum filling equipment is not available, add a 50-50 mixture of antifreeze and water to bring the level up to the max mark, visible through the expansion tank filler neck. Once the level in the expansion tank starts to rise, squeeze the radiator top and bottom hoses to expel any trapped air in the system. Once all the air is expelled, top up the coolant level to the maximum mark in the expansion tank, then refit and tighten the expansion tank cap and bleed screw. These vehicles are fitted with a water-cooled turbocharger and an auxiliary coolant pump, so an additional bleeding procedure is now necessary. Connect a battery charger to the jump start points in the engine compartment and switch on the charger. With the ignition turned on, illuminate the headlights and set them to the dipped beams. The headlights must be illuminated to prevent the ignition system from automatically switching off. Ensure the driving experience switch is not set to Eco Pro, then hold down the accelerator pedal for 10 seconds. The pump venting procedure should now start and lasts for approximately 12 minutes. Do not open the expansion tank cap during this procedure. Turn off the headlights and the ignition. Top up the expansion tank to the maximum mark and refit the expansion tank cap. Don't forget to disconnect the charger. Start the engine and run it until it reaches normal operating temperature. Then stop the engine and allow it to cool. Check for leaks, particularly around disturbed components. Check the coolant level in the expansion tank and top up if necessary. Note that the system must be cold before an accurate level is indicated in the expansion tank. Maneuver the tray into position under the vehicle, then insert and tighten the fasteners. Raise the vehicle and remove the axle stands, then lower the vehicle to the ground. Firmly close the bonnet.